Hi students, good morning. Today we are going to have a review class of the this week which we have studied. Okay, and in this week, that is on Monday, I started the class of history, chapter 3, Nationalist movement in India. So this is very important chapter as point out to board exam students. Okay, so keep concentration on this chapter. Nearly 10 to 11 marks you get from this chapter in board exam. Okay, now so in this chapter we are going to study, we have studied about the movements, nationalist movement in India which took place after 1915, 1916, that is after the arrival of Mahatma Gandhi. We all know that Mahatma Gandhi arrived in India in 1915 from South Africa. He had a very good successful satyagrahas, andolans and you can say fight against the racial discrimination and all in South Africa. Now when he came to India, he established Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad. Next, he saw that when he came to India, he saw that Indians were totally under the control of the Britishers, and the Indians had heard about Mahatma Gandhi's name and fame, his work and his achievements. So there was an incident in Champaran district of Bihar where the peasants, the plantation workers were not able to get the desired amount for their produce. So they invited Mahatma Gandhi in 1960 to Champaran, where Mahatma Gandhi solved the problem of the people. Next similar problem was there in Kheda district of Gujarat. There was a famine and drought. So the peasants were and the farmers of Kheda were demanding for relaxation in the tax and revenue for the particular year. So they invited Mahatma Gandhi to sort out their problem. In 1918, the cotton mill workers of Ahmedabad, they invited Mahatma Gandhi to solve their problems, which was that they were not getting wages for many months and there was no increment in their wages for years. Okay, so after this, Mahatma Gandhi became an iconic figure in the Indian history, in the Indian freedom struggle. Okay, so what happened? Next, there was a mass movements and mass rallies, dharnas everywhere going on. Okay, and Mahatma Gandhi used to address the Indians by saying that we must follow the policy of truth and non-violence, because he used to believe in truth and non-violence, and he used to say that we can achieve any goal, we can achieve anything if we are following truth and non-violence. Okay, in his book Hind Swaraj, which was published in 1909, he has written that Britishers came to India because we cooperated with them. Okay, and if we stop cooperating with them, they have to leave India. So Mahatma Gandhi was planning to start a operation known as non-cooperation movement, mass rally, mass procession against the Britishers, which was known as non-cooperation movement. By the time the Britishers came to know about all these happenings in India, and they passed an act in 1919 known as Rowlatt Act. This was passed without the consent of the Indian legislative members. Okay, and as per this act, they can arrest any Indians and they can put in the jail without trial for 2 years. Okay, so when this act was passed in the year 1919, there was a lot of agitations, lot of furiousness, lot of anger among the Indians. There were various places where the strikes took place, dharnas, rallies. Okay, some places even the mobs became violent also. Okay, by saying this, in Amritsar in 1919 only, they kept martial law. Okay, and the prominent leaders of Amritsar like Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Khichlu, they were arrested. Saifuddin Khichlu, they were arrested. Okay, so to release the leaders, okay, on 13th April 1919 in Jallianwala Bagh Park or garden, there was a small procession, and that day was day of Baisakhi, where small fair was also held. So people from the neighboring villages, surrounding areas, they have come to attend the fair. Most of them were unknown about the martial law which was implemented in Amritsar. So, and General O'Dwyer was given the in charge of Amritsar. So, General O'Dwyer enters the park. He closed the entry and exit gate because there was only one entry and one exit gate. He closed it, and without giving any warning, he ordered his troops to open fire on them. In this firing, nearly thousands and thousands of people, children, women were killed, and many were wounded. Many died because of stampede and all. Many jumped in the well to protect themselves. Many tried to escape by jumping the wall. They were shot there itself. So this was one of the most barbaric and you can say inhuman incident in the history of India. Next, after this, Mahatma Gandhi wanted to start non-cooperation movement, and at the same time the World War I ended and Turkey was very much humiliated by Britishers. Okay, and the Khalifa, the title of Khalifa was abolished. Now Turkey was at that time known as the spiritual head of all the Muslim nation countries. Okay, so Muslims all over the world were very much furious about Britishers. So Mahatma Gandhi thought that this is the right time to unite Hindus and Muslims. So what happened? He tried to bring Hindus and Muslims together. He met Ali brothers, Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali, where they together with Mahatma Gandhi toured entire Indians. They conveyed the Indians gatherings about their program, that is non-cooperation and Khilafat movement. So finally in 1919 Khilafat committee was formed and in Bombay, and in 1921 Indian National Congress they gave permission to start non-cooperation. So January 1921 non-cooperation movement was launched by Mahatma Gandhi. The main aim of the non-cooperation movement was to not to cooperate with the Britishers, and that was it was advised that students should stop going to colleges and schools, lawyers should stop going to the practices, the Indians who are working like a clerk or in the British police or army, they have to quit their job. They have to not purchase the British manufactured clothes. They have to adopt khadi. This was the programs launched. Okay, at the beginning it was very peaceful and successful, but after later 3-4 months there was no alternate arrangement for all these things. So the students once again started going back to the colleges. The Indians who were quit the job of clerk, police or army, they once again started joining. The lawyers and the barristers started going to their practice. Next step, khadi was very expensive. It was out of reach of the middle class people. So once again the Indians, poor people, middle class people, they started purchasing the British manufactured clothes. Okay, now in the countryside, especially in Abad and all, Kisan Mahasabha was formed by the intended refugee labor, that is Baba Ramchand. Okay, next, what happened? He gathered the farmers of our areas and he got the support of Jawaharlal Nehru, and finally their notion was totally different from what was of Mahatma Gandhi. So they started looting, attacking the landlords, zamindars and all, godowns and all. This was the way which they followed. Okay, next, what happened? After this, we saw about the formation of Swaraj Party 1922 by C.R. Das and Motilal Nehru. Next, in this chapter, we studied about civil disobedience movement, that is Salt Satyagraha, which was started by Mahatma Gandhi in 1930. Okay, next, Gandhi Union Pact 1931 and Round Table Conference. In first Round Table Conference, the Congress did not attend. The second round conference, Mahatma Gandhi attended, where he was badly insulted by Lord Irwin. And in 1932, Mahatma Gandhi and B.R. Ambedkar came to clash with Pune Pact. Next, Simon Commission 1927, it was formed in London by the name Sir John Simon. It arrived in India in 1928, but there were no Indians in this commission. So all Indians, including the National Congress and Muslim League, boycotted the Simon Commission. Next, finally, various leaders and all, they tried to bring the unity among the Indians okay, by various folk stories, by creating the pictures of Bharat Mata, and by making you can say various stories, Vande Mataram, songs written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, and Janagadamana, or a national anthem by Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, in this way, national integrity was developed among the Indians. So, student, this was the brief summary of the chapter Nationalist Movement in India, which studied in this week. Thank you. Take care.